Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And we just tried Fireball again. Mr. Magazine says, I need something that's easy on my stomach. And I said, just do a Fireball again. Why not? Nice and easy. We're getting near the bottom of the bottle anyway.
Nice.
And I see some people in. Oh, and thank you for joining the new member. Do appreciate that.
Yep. Dandy David's in the house. How's it going? Appreciate you. Triple F's here like always.
Thank you for being a member. Don't you usually put the people down on the screen?
You don't know what I do.
You forgot your job.
Do everyone? I don't think I do everyone.
Yeah, you do.
No, as far as you know. Well, dementia. Super C's in the house. How you doing?
Thank you for being a member.
All right.
All righty.
Oh, nice. Hold on. Oh, no. Say it. Dandy Don's in the house.
Hello. And welcome in. Thank you for being a member.
And I want to say Delightful Dave's in the house. We're mixing stuff up tonight.
You are. And thank you for being a member.
Dandy Donald, how you doing?
All righty. All right, we're going to start the show off as we always do, asking everybody how sales are. Take it away, Mr. Magazine.
Not too bad. I can't complain for this time of year. It could be better. Amazon obviously is better with the repricer. A little off this week, but we're still doing more than we were doing a couple months ago. eBay's been average or above average, so can't argue with that. We're putting better stuff on, selling that. Adult sites are pretty good. The new site's pretty good, so can't complain too much right now. We're paying the bills and everything's good.
That's good.
How about you?
Everything's terrible except eBay. eBay has been $200 to $300 a day ever since last Thursday on. So I'm very, very happy with that. Everything else is horrid. So, but eBay's doing what it needs to do. So
Whatnot has been bad. I forgot about Whatnot has definitely been down at the point where some days I'm breaking even or losing money after I pay, the fees of my employees. So
sales are bleh this week. Bleh, 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 bleh. Saturday saved last week, but only because I've lowered my standards on what I consider a good week right now.
There you go. Yeah.
That always works.
Yeah, for sure.
And thank you for being a member, Michael.
Lucky Lee, how you doing?
Been a while. Been a long time. Last 2 or 3 weekends have been pretty good and a few midweek days, so overall won't complain. Summer slow down or whatever.
Awesome Aaron's in the house. How's it going, buddy? Jazzy Jeff, good evening.
Nice to have you in, Jeff. So yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you a little later what some things that are going on.
I know you can compare them to last year at this time. Were we on the same high, low? What do you got?
It's weird. Like last week was good. My last week was bad. So there's not any rhyme or reason this year. Thank you for being a member, Antiquarian.
Yeah, the A's have it. Awesome Antiquarian's in the house. Awesome Unique's in the house. Blah, 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 blah,
blah, blah, blah, blah. We can no sales, so one large item reach was probably my throttled ceiling on eBay. Wow.
Okay.
Oh, and I did want to, I'm going to let you guys in. So I definitely want to thank Vintage View for coming on last week. And yes, he was very, very enthusiastic. Definitely. Good guest.
Yeah.
Very, very good guest. And we did pull an Andy Kaufman on you. And let me tell you how that came about. I was talking to him, and he really did want to get out after an hour. That was his goal, was 1 hour. And I said, look, I can't guarantee an hour. I said, it'll be an hour and 1 minute, hour and 2 minutes. I go, I don't want to cut you off right in the middle of a sentence type deal. I said, although that would be kind of funny. And he goes, let's do it. So we set it up. So I asked him that question. He did a wonderful job as an actor. It definitely showed through. He hit all the marks, and exactly at the 1 hour mark, he let himself out of the room. So yeah, we have to have a little fun over here, but that's what ended up happening last week. But he was a good sport, great guy. We're going to have him on again after Allentown. We're going to have him on again. So just to let you know, did want to thank Mysterious Benefactor. If you haven't watched that show, he was on last Friday, and Auction Professor as well. If you haven't watched that, definitely do as well. It's all about mental health, and I think it's a really, really important show that we did there. 27 out of 44 promoted, definitely more promoted than usual. 306 offers, down from 334 the week before. But, they're kind of going as still staying pretty heavy there on the offers. One item sold on $1 Peddlers and 2 over on Etsy. Oh, thank you, Don. Do appreciate that. It was Fireball today. We did have Fireball today. How about any buys? Anybody out there buying anything?
I think I told you I had a good magazine collection. The lady comes in every 2-3 times a year from Manhattan with some good stuff. My usual toy guy comes in, but other than that, I'm trying to lay low and build up some money in my account. How about you? I know you're always buying something.
Yeah, I am. I went to an estate sale on the way to breakfast with Mysterious Benefactor. Now, I kind of only went there because Mysterious Benefactor likes architecture. And so it was a nice old house over on Seneca Park. So a nice old house by Aquinas.
Okay.
Nice house. And he absolutely loved the house. It'd be one of those houses I'd love to buy. It's like 3,000 square feet.
Ooh, nice.
But I'd be so scared that it would be good. I've been running markdowns for 2-week intervals, really slowed down. As soon as it ends, sales pick up. Interesting machine. Yeah, there you go. No, my favorite local estate company wants to bankrupt me this coming weekend. A few buys here and there, but nothing crazy. So, it's a 3,000 square foot house, but that's not the greatest of neighborhoods. I mean, that neighborhood's kind of holding up, but the spots around it aren't very good. So I'd be scared, like if I bought that house and if I weren't living there, that I'd come in, house be broken into.
Well, not only that, but those older houses are built really nice back in the day. And now if they break down, it costs a lot to repair some of that stuff because you want to do it the same way that they were originally built. Yeah.
So 3 lots of postcards, one from Facebook, one from High Bid, and one from Live Auctioneers. There you go. Sold a book set for $350, bought another same for $65, and Leroy Neiman prints for $25. Nice.
Cool.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
They had some really, really nice posters there. But the estate sale company doesn't deal much. I ended up buying a 1926 Chinese poster, which I think is pretty good. Actually, about 2 1920s Chinese posters. So I think those are good. The only problem was a lot of these posters, they were actually on board, which takes the value down considerably. Still have value, but takes it down considerably.
Yep.
So that's why I didn't end up. I went back the last day and I looked and I ended up not buying any, not buying the posters just because of that.
I had to explain that to a customer. He's got a poster collection among other things. He's friends with Double J. They came in the other day, and he said, "Oh, I got the first Jaws. It goes for $300-$500, but it's boarded. Like on the dry mount, and like still cool. It might be pressed out, but again, it's definitely going to take the value down."
Yeah, no doubt at all about that. Milan included 89 out of a set of 100. The Art of Vintage DC. Oh,
that's cool.
Nice, very nice. Did go to the flea market. Did spend $40 over there. It was kind of interesting because I went there and it was actually packed, which it never is. Turns out that they worked a deal out with a local, another flea market that had been running on Saturdays. That once a month they're going to do the flea market together. Well, the thing is, there are a lot more vendors, but a lot of these vendors are people that are selling candles and clothes and all that.
Yeah. And
so there were a lot more vendors, a lot more shoppers, but these shoppers are a lot more leisurely. So I'm like, can we get out of the way? Can we move? I'm almost running people over because I'm trying to go to all the, trying to find the stuff to sell. And meanwhile, they're there for a leisurely Saturday morning. Glitch of the week. I'm sure a lot of you did see the video, a very, very frightening video. Even Mr. Magazine watched it, where it logged me out of one account into the other account in between when I was refreshing doing a search. It logged me out of one account into another account. Very, very frightening item situation there for that, definitely.
No question on that, since we're talking for the first time now since I watched that, but have you heard anyone else having the same issue? And 2, do you think it's just something where it would only do it with your stores?
Well, one person did comment that the same thing happened to them 2 weeks ago between their own stores. And apparently, I didn't remember this, but apparently like 2 or 3 years ago, there was a glitch where people were getting logged into other people's accounts. Yeah. That was 2 or 3 years ago. That was kind of crazy. So who knows what's going on in that. eBay is reusing the tracking numbers, which Mr. Magazine is finding out as buyer after buyer after buyer is giving him a hard time. Like, how did it get? You shipped it out yesterday, and somehow it got to me in Tennessee today. That didn't happen.
They get so nervous on their stuff.
Well, you can't really blame them though if the tracking shows delivered.
Right, but if you've been buying or selling for years on eBay or anywhere else, the post office does crazy stuff. Or wait till it gets to you. If it's supposed to get to you in 5 days, wait the 5 days. check tracking every day after updates and get
Yeah, well, except if you do check tracking day one to verify it went out and it shows it's delivered and you never got it, I can see you being a little bit upset. Do eBay store accounts have permission levels? If so, this could be a real problem for Mr. Magazine. He has everything. I believe everybody has access to everything, right? Yeah. You never set up the other permissions. Yep. Have not done that yet. At some point, we will.
How's it going? Awesome. Adrian's in the house.
And thank you for being a member. Thursday morning, things were just terrible over on eBay as far as, hello, Jackie Jack. Things were terrible over on eBay. Items weren't loading. And I went to relist items that didn't sell. And I go to click the checkbox to check all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't do anything. So I had to check each one separately.
Right.
Then it was still ghosted out to relist. I couldn't relist because it was ghosted out.
Wow.
So I had to come back a little bit later for that to end up working. Terrible on that. So definitely the problems on that. Site changes. Amazon sent me an email. They're ending listing feeds on July 31st. And apparently I'm affected by it. Now I use Sellbrite in order to do it. So hopefully whoever I'm using with Sellbrite figures this out that, hey, we got 1 month to figure this out, because otherwise there's going to be all kinds of problems over on my Amazon and my
so you can't
store
push it
and all
over
that.
at that point? Oh, wow. That's,
yeah.
I guess I'm glad I got rid of it then.
Well, I would think that they know it, and I would think that they're figuring that out. Yeah. Item of the week. Picked this up at a house call a month or so ago. Another dealer had been in and didn't want this. Now, this is My Life with Martin Luther King Jr. by Coretta Scott. But I opened it up while I was out at the house call and noticed, might not be too easy to see there, but that is actually signed. I compared the signature, and it is indeed her signature. I had Mr. Magazine look at it, and he goes, oh, yeah, that's signed. Because my eyes aren't so good, but yep. So picked up a signed book like this after another dealer had gone through. Always check books like this that have the potential to be signed. You absolutely never know. It's a $75 book or something other like that. But given that I gave the people $40, 4 boxes, gave them $40 for everything that I bought there, to get this book out of there is not bad at all. I think I'm going to keep it for now, just because. But pretty cool item over there. Always look inside for signatures. I found a fair number of good signatures throughout the years. And on to the insulting offer of the week. Mr. Magazine had a Hot Wheels 1988 commemorative 3-pack of cars, $42.77. Got an $18 offer on it.
I don't know if you remember this, but someone bid $35 and then canceled it. I feel like it's the same guy feeling he overpaid. And he keeps making the same. I think, did I tell you to ban him finally? Because he kept making the same offer.
No, I don't think he did, yeah.
All right.
And he had an Ender's Game autographed card with Haley Steinfeld, $74.15, took a $14 offer. And just because, Don, that's why you keep it. Just because.
That's right.
Countdown to Brimfield. Well, we're buying a fair amount. And I actually did get a call from somebody or other that dealt with another dealer. And he started sending me pictures. Now, the problem is he's in Attica. Not the prison, I don't believe. It's an hour away. But he started sending me pictures, and he's got 18 boxes of paper and books and sending me some decent stuff. Now, he sent 3 trailer loads of stuff off to auction, and I'm like, don't send any more paper off to auction. I'll come out. I'll tell you what's worth doing.
What do you get for them? I mean, what auction?
Well, it wasn't just paper. It was an auction site down in the southern tier. He was sending everything in the house south.
Yeah, but like that's crazy. Just mix stuff, and how are they even figuring that out? What they want to? So they probably lot a lot of stuff.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that's why I think all I have to do is beat auction prices, and he'll be happy. And the things I don't want, he's got an out for. He'll be sending it off to auction. Yeah. So my job will be to fill up the Rogue and do so reasonably.
You have a little bit of room on that sofa there. And next to the bathroom wall is a little space. You can put 20 bucks.
So the Confucius joke of the week, as Mr. Magazine hopes that I forget. Not going to happen. This actually is a good one today, Mr. Magazine.
Great.
You know, my wife?
Mm-hmm.
My wife swallowed a firecracker. Her hair came out in bangs.
She was saying that for the 4th of July.
My wife swallowed a firecracker and her hair came out in bangs. Mm-hmm. That was the Confucius Say joke of the day. Make sure you stop on by 20 past the hour and you get another great joke like that at any Whatnot auction.
If you ban those from your whatnots, I wonder how many people you'll lose. You might lose a couple.
People love that. Or see,
Yeah,
Jackie Jack likes it. Oh, come on. Oh,
yep.
Maybe you didn't get that, Dawn. I'll reread it just in case. My wife swallowed a firecracker and her hair came out in bangs. Because firecrackers.
Yeah, they go bang. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bangs?
Gotcha, yeah.
Wow, tough crowd.
Yep.
Tough crowd today. Customer issues. Mr. Magazine had a stormtrooper up for sale. Apparently, there was a little bit of staining on the stormtrooper because he got an email from a customer asking, "Did your stormtrooper poop his pants?"
I knew you liked that one.
I don't know how you answer that one. I don't know how you answer that one.
I might have said maybe. Maybe.
Mr. Magazine has sold on Amazon a Leo Sayer album. I wish I knew Leo Sayer's song and I would sing it right now. Just When I Needed You Most. Isn't that Leo Sayer? It might be.
Mm-hmm.
Would like to know if package will arrive undamaged.
That's what we shoot for. Oh, Jackie Jack hit it right on the head. Yep.
Pooper trooper. I sold a napkin over on eBay, and the person responds, "Hoping the piece is in the condition as shown." I said, "I don't know why it wouldn't be. I use an actual photograph of what you bought." The guy's got 2,400 positives as well. So
I mean, unless you're packing it up and then you sneeze.
Well, I crumpled it. It takes up much less room
course,
if you crumple.
Of course.
I used it as its own packing material.
Yeah.
Genius. Mr. Magazine's having some problems with overseas customers. Nice. Multiple G.I. Joe people are buying things overseas.
We've had these listed for like a year and a half, 2 years. They're just selling like crazy now. I don't understand it. It's crazy.
Well, they all want combined shipping, but then they do not understand that all we can refund is the domestic portion of it because we don't see the international portion of it. That's all between them and eBay.
Right.
And we cannot see that portion. We cannot refund that. Well, we can, but it would be out of our money. We're not going to refund that portion. We can only give them a portion of the domestic. And if they pay $10 domestic shipping, we can't give them back $35 or whatever they think that they deserve back.
Exactly.
Just can't happen. Mr. Magazine had a why don't you tell them the story with the Topps Bowman Mickey Mantle cards?
Okay, so Topps back in 95, was it something? There was some commemorative insert cards they did of every Mickey Mantle card through Topps and the early Bowmans as well.
Now, how are those issued?
They were randomly in packs, and then in the factory sets, I think you got a couple guaranteed or whatever. So
they're inserts.
The first year, I think they originally did one of every card he had regular season card. So I think it was 19 or something like that. And then they might have did a series 2 or the following year they did like him with Willie Mays, some of those type of cards. So originally, you could have 50 different ones, who knows? But they're regular size, not oversized. They're glossy, they're thinner, they're white border. They have a gold stamp on them. And they used to be worth $10 a card or more. The rookies used to go for 20, years ago. Now, they're like $2 a card. So I think we had a set of 19. Wow. I think that, we decided the 90. I got a bunch of those sets, but we, finally got an employee that, hey, let's have them listed. Let's throw it up for $25. Guy emails me, says, "You're selling those as originals. They aren't originals. That's very misleading." And again, I tried to explain to them these are commemorative. They're actually not reprints. They're called commemorative ones. But here's they don't look they look like similar covers, but obviously they're different in many.
Right, but here's the whole point. They're not reprints. They're inserts.
Right.
There's a whole difference between a reprint and an insert.
Right.
An insert is an insert.
Yeah, but again, I would say 99.9% of the people out there that know cards knows that these are reprints. And if they were originals, the 52 Topps is worth millions of dollars, but I'm putting them out for $25. I mean, it's just common sense at this point. I tried to explain that to him. I left it at that. That was it.
Right. But again, my problem is a reprint are those things you see from China of the 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan card that looks like a real card.
Yeah.
That's a reprint.
And there are fake reprints of the 52 Topps and some of those other ones that look kind of identical, but again, they might be thinner, they might be smaller, but they look the same.
Right, but those are reprints.
Right,
This was actually put out by Topps,
exactly.
so it's not a reprint.
Yeah, yep.
A lot of people are upset with the cost of international shipping for my postcards, but eBay international shipping is convenient for me. So yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I had a gentleman buy a newspaper from me. He didn't pay for 4 days. Then he requests a cancellation because the item will not arrive on time. You're probably right. You know when it would have arrived on time? Had you paid for it 4 days ago. Just saying. Yeah. So I canceled it and I banned him. I don't need some clown like that around. If he's not bright enough to figure out that if you pay, then the item gets shipped, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Common sense.
Apparently, there's some interesting other things. Apparently, Heavy Metal magazine must be banned on Amazon.
Really?
I went on to search for it. There are none on Amazon because I had a heavy Metal magazine to list. Gosh, I did a search, Heavy Metal magazine. Nothing came up.
Holy cow, that's crazy. And why is that? I mean, it's just nuts.
Unless it's because it's sort of pseudo adult.
Yeah, but I mean, they allow Playboy's Penthouse, stuff like that, and even then they're hitting some of those as well, especially Playboy's. But it's just crazy.
Yeah, so there were none on there when I searched on it. I got I'm down to 98% on-time shipping from Whatnot, which means something did not get scanned on time because everything gets put out quickly. So who knows? Your postman could be a replacement guy, could be who knows what, but they didn't scan stuff. So I'm down to 98% on that.
Wow.
I'm actually really, really surprised that Mr. Magazine is here tonight.
What am I missing?
Well, I just assumed you would be over in France.
Doing what?
Hanging out with Jeff Bezos and all the other high rollers for the wedding. I just kind of assumed that that's where you would be.
I didn't get the invite, and I don't know who's getting married.
Jeff Bezos.
Oh, he is? Oh.
Well, no wonder he didn't invite you.
Well, I mean,
maybe he was doing small talk with you at a party going, I'm getting married soon, and you totally handsome danned him and forgot.
It could have been Bruce Springsteen, and he's inviting Bezos. I don't know.
See, that dementia is costing you. You could be over in Paris right now. Maybe you did get the invite and you forgot.
Well, it could be, yes, exactly.
Really? I did a search the other day and there were none on there, Don. So
could be a glitch.
Who knows?
I feel like I sold one in the last week or two.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a search through Amazon on the catalog, adding items through your catalog, and nothing came up at all. So maybe it was just a glitch on my end for some reason. Big news: Cider Fest is coming again. So I know I've not seen Schmidt Auctions in here, but when Schmidt watches the replay, I'll get you the date of that, and we'll try to get me on a raid train that day. I'll go to 1 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll go to Cider Fest. I'll drink unlimited cider for 2 hours, and then do a raid train 3 hours later. So it should be a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun last year. For Gonna Be Antiques, one of your shipments. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Well, no, if you're finding it on the buyer side, then they're on there. It wasn't showing up on the seller search. That's very weird.
It is weird.
Very weird. So there was a big article they were talking about. Why are ungraded cards selling for more than PSA 9 cards? Why is that, Mr. Magazine?
Well, I can only imagine. One, they have to be newer cards, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining that some of these guys are experts where they can look at these cards, magnify them and stuff, and say, I should get a 10 on this. So I'm assuming that they think a graded 9 is going to go for more than well, not necessarily, but they obviously think they can get a 10. Because if you think it's a 9, you're not going to buy it and send it in as a 9. You're probably paying 9 price or better, like you're saying. So they got to hope that it's going to be a 10, I guess. But it's got to be with cards that are chrome, things that are like perfect, like they're made perfectly with the the cuts they have nowadays. I don't know. That's all I can guess.
Yeah, no, that's what the article said. And they said if you have a PSA graded 9, it's a 9 forever. Now that doesn't mean you can't crack it and you can't try to get a 10, but it's a 9. So that's what it's worth is a 9. Yeah. Whereas if you have an ungraded one and it's got the potential to be a 10, so you're paying for potential.
Yeah.
And there are some people who value potential. That's the way it is.
Yeah. Well, or they could be big time dealers that know that if they send a bunch of those in, they're going to get a bunch of 10s. Just if they're swaying one way, this is Dave and Adams or Joe Schmo's cards, and they spend 10,000 a week with us. Well, they're going to. It's just common sense. They're going to get a little.
Yes, I am. I was supposed to be on Saturday. I switched to Sunday, and you heard Schmidt, Cider Fest. I'll get you the date, and we'll set me up set me up on a train that day. Should be a lot of fun on Amazon tonight. Maybe. Yeah, because I went on the I ended up listing it over on eBay because I couldn't find it on Amazon. Yeah.
Fake news.
Did see over on Craigslist. Absolutely. Did see over on Craigslist that an antique store is closing. You may have heard me talk about this over in Buckman's Plaza. It was a place that I went into that I didn't even know was back there. And they had a book, and I go, oh, okay, I could probably sell this book over on Whatnot. I bet I can get about $10 for this book on Whatnot. And I think they wanted $80 on it. And I'm like, yeah, we're not buying anything from them. So surprisingly, they're
it makes you wonder what they sold to stay in business, or they didn't need to sell anything. Just a hobby or something. A retirement hobby. Who knows?
Indeed. Well, I'll tell you what, Schmidt, because you
3 times.
Because you've always been such a help to everybody, and you've really helped the channel out a lot and everything. I will, for you, reread the Confucius joke. It's a short one today, and it's good.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. My wife swallowed a firecracker, and her hair came out in bangs. My wife swallowed a firecracker, and her hair came out in bangs. And that was the dramatic rereading of the Confucius joke of the day. Her hair came out in bangs. Hey, Mr. Magazine, do you mind if we break HIPAA? I guess it's not breaking if you
go ahead.
You break it.
Yeah.
Heard you got some fun plans Thursday night into Friday morning.
Yeah, I got a lot going on. Right now, let me lead into what's going on. I have a shoulder issue going on here. Cortisone shot, getting PT, having a colonoscopy Friday.
Oh.
So what's the date Friday? The 27th. So then my birthday is July 7th after the 4th of July. And then July 11th, my birthday present is getting my right hip replaced. So busy. Yeah.
Yep. So Mr. Magazine had me reading all of the paperwork about the fun time prepping for colonoscopy.
Yeah.
And what you can and cannot eat raw vegetables, cannot eat nuts, no this, no that, no food the day before.
Certain pills I can't take, iron. And the beauty of it is
fish oil.
My blood work came back as low hemoglobin, slightly low. And then to get that up, you need to eat broccoli, red meat, and nuts. But
Two-thirds of which you cannot.
Which I cannot eat for the colonoscopy. So it was bad timing, but I want to get it over with. So I just cut some of that out, and hopefully I'll be feeling better before it gets worse.
There you go. Oh, soon all your troubles will be behind you.
Almost all of them.
Got it? Behind you?
Yeah.
Because the colonoscopy behind you?
Yeah, that's the
you want me to reread the
Confucius?
I'll reread that if you want.
Yeah. Well, it'll be my colonoscopy. I got to get done. I'm going to be 52. Yeah. The hip, I had my left hip done a couple years ago. That helped me get in shape and lose all this weight. So not that I'm embracing the right hip, but the cortisone shot wore off. So now I'm going to be in pain for the next 2 weeks. But
would you like to be in more pain? I can go grab the Confucius book.
My ears are in pain, definitely. All right, you're up.
See, they like that joke. They like.
Well, you think they're just being nice people out there.
So, I do have to say this about you, Mr. Magazine. You do act helpless sometimes.
What did I do now? Well, if I have employees and I got a bad hip, I'm not going to be lifting heavy boxes. Why would I? But go ahead. Let's hear this one.
So I sent Mr. Magazine the link to the video that I did, that I put up on our site.
What a crybaby.
Site. All right. It's on $1 Million Peddlers. You may have heard of that. He then calls me to ask me where the video is in the middle of my Whatnot show.
Well, that's not help. Well, I guess it's bad timing too, because I don't know when it is. But
you do know what it is. It's 4:00 Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. You do know.
Sure, bro. Anyways, here's the problem. We email each other. I mean, I send him tons of emails back, and every day there could be 50. There could be 6 or 7 emails, but then 5 or 6 within each email. So now I'm doing a search on video and a word, and these days
$1 Million
paper going.
Peddlers.
Okay, but it's
You
not
may
the
have
end of the, it's
heard
not
of
the end
it.
of the world. It's just like
You've
this,
heard of it.
just to solve this, you solve the problem. Like, oh, it's here, buddy. Here it is again.
How about you don't be helpless in the first place? Just a crazy idea there.
I figured it out. Oh,
Yeah,
I can't wait for the prep work because I like fasting and
You
I
can
like
lose
going
weight.
I like going to the bathroom and yeah, it's fun. And I was gonna fast today. But I'm like, why would I fast?
why would you?
I
Yeah.
fast today? Whenever I eat, it's gonna come out anyways.
Yeah,
I might as
that's
well
true.
enjoy. I mean, I didn't pig out, but I just ate like a normal day.
You might as well.
Yeah, why not?
I agree with you on that.
Good times.
Yummy.
So I've heard,
yummy.
yeah. So I'm like the last person to do this. Everyone I know has done it already. Obviously, what does that tell you?
So, Mr. Magazine, tell me if this has ever happened to you. I guess I was a troublesome buyer. I ordered banker boxes on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Priority tracking.
Okay. Man, you got to be paying too much. Are these regular bankers like I get, or you get the sturdy ones?
I get the
sometimes?
sturdy. I get the good ones, yeah.
Okay.
Priority bankers, or the ship priority, according to the tracking.
Okay.
Showed up Tuesday at 11:43 a.m. per tracking.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped in or at mailbox with the priority USPS tracking number.
Okay.
I go outside. They're not there. I'm like, okay, they're not here. I guess my mail came at 11 o'clock in the morning, but I did get
Is
mail.
it
But I
post
didn't
office,
get those.
FedEx, UPS? Oh, it's priority. So
Priority
it's
mail,
office.
post office.
All right. Yep.
I said, maybe they'll come tonight. I came out Wednesday morning. They weren't there overnight. I waited for the postman Wednesday. They didn't come. So then I contacted eBay on Facebook and I'm like, hey, I got a problem. It says it arrived. It never arrived. Took them a couple hours to get back to me. They're like, okay, let us know what's going on. Da, da, da.
Mm-hmm.
Meantime, I walked outside to put something in a recycling bin. It came FedEx.
Huh.
How do you get a priority tracking number on an item and then get it delivered FedEx?
Yeah, like I know UPS has that deal with Ground Saver. You got UPS picks it up, but the post office delivers it, or however that works. But yeah, FedEx, I have no idea.
No idea at all.
It's crazy. Now, what do you pay for them? Have you shopped them around?
35 or something like that.
So $3.50 a piece.
10, yeah.
I would feel like Staples online would have them cheaper.
For the solid ones, the good ones.
Yeah,
the
or
double ones.
you know what you should do if you remember Monday we could check, or I can ask Lori WB Mason. They'll price match stuff. So like if someone has it cheaper, you can get and they deliver them to me, so you can pick them up. So, but usually I get the cheap ones. But sometimes Staples and BJ's are cheaper than WB Mason and so forth. So
okay, yeah, I have to look into that. Yeah, I just happen to need them because I've been using them for that mystery. Oh, and I did go to the mystery book deal today and pick up 5 more boxes. Now that I'm thinking about it, cool. I did do that.
Nice.
Here I am buying 5 boxes of books and totally forget about it. Maybe I buy too much. Maybe, just maybe. Do not sell playbills on Whatnot. Yesterday was my first shutout ever on Whatnot.
Wow.
58 items, 52 items, 60 items, something like that. I sold not one playbill on Whatnot, all preloaded.
This is your first one?
My first playbill one, yeah.
Wow. Singles?
Yeah.
Wow. I would flip out just because I'm paying someone. Yeah.
Well, I listed them all on eBay this morning.
Yeah.
I had another one today.
Now, are those on Amazon? If they're newer, maybe, or something like your
They'd be really, really hard to match up because of the dates. And so if somebody listed the date, it'd be really, really tough.
Okay.
I had another playbill auction today. All actual. The first one was not. They were playbills, but they didn't say playbill on them. They were more the play program type deals. Today I did another one. $6. I sold 2 playbills.
So you're saying sheet music is better than playbills?
I'm saying sheet music is much, much better than playbills. So now you know.
Interesting.
So now you know. But I'll just list everything that didn't sell on eBay.
So if I actually give you, say, if I find a box of playbills somewhere at the warehouse, I give them to you.
They
could cost you money.
You can.
That could be costing. All right, I gotta find one.
Nice.
Happy birthday.
People are starting to find various fees showing up on eBay when they're looking. Some towns are doing things like road tax and delivery fee, et cetera, et cetera.
Oof.
The only problem is the buyer, of course, has to pay it. we also have to pay a fee. We also have to pay a percentage on that.
Is this a tariff thing going on?
No, it's just that various towns are like, oh, all the extra delivery trucks are wrecking the road, so we're going to charge a quarter per order, that kind of deal. So different states and cities are starting to do that, which eBay's got to pass along to us, and of course they have to. Problem is, we're paying 14% or 12% or whatever on that, so it's costing us an extra 3 to 5 cents, whatever. Jeez. Yep. Oh, Mr. Magazine, I am sure, in fact, Mysterious Benefactor told me that you noticed a little something different out in front of my garage.
Yes, there was a shopping cart. A blue one? Is it blue?
It is a blue shopping cart. I'm going to tell you, this is a bonus rambling story of the day. So I am lucky enough that on the tree lawn out in front, there is a bus stop. Well, apparently somebody went to Marshall's and bought stuff and walked the shopping cart all the way up to the bus stop, got on the bus, not only leaving the shopping cart in the bus stop area on the tree lawn, but also turning it on its side. Well, I have to mow the lawn, and I didn't really want to run the lawnmower over a shopping cart. That probably,
I want to see that.
That probably wouldn't work very well. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So I picked the shopping cart up and I wheeled it back in front of the garage. So it's sitting there. And my thought is, Marshall's? It's right there. You're more than welcome to come get it. I am not walking your shopping cart back down to you because I'm not walking it back down there, but it's right there in front of the garage. So just wanted you to know that.
They're never going to come get it. Are you kidding me? No shot.
Well, at some point, maybe I'll buy a warehouse and I'll be using a Marshall's cart.
Well, when you have a lot of mail, I'll bring the box truck, just throw it in there.
There we go. So that's why the shopping cart is there. And I just weighed myself yesterday for the first time in a while. I'm down to 180 pounds. I was 195 when I retired from the state.
Nice.
So I'm looking at it now. I'm losing weight and I'm pushing a shopping cart around. Maybe times are kind of tough. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Eating a little better over time. Look at you probably added a few years on your life.
Well, either that or not able to eat at all, and because times are tough. If I have the shopping cart. I mentioned in the past about the difficulty that I've had with Japanese books when I sell them. I do have a lot of them listed over on Amazon, but they're tough to sell. Well, now that thanks to Auction Professor, I know I have the aphantasia where I got no visual memory whatsoever. Now I really understand why it was so difficult for me to find the Japanese books, because I can't even read the cover. So here I am trying to identify a book, not being able to remember what it looks like.
When having no depth perception, you're like trying to get the book, right? To read it.
Yes, because you see me doing that all the time. I'm doing that in the videos all the time. Whoa, you are that's not very heavy. Oh, well, then again, you might be.
Maybe I'll use it. Am I doing a rambling? I don't have one, but I'm going to use this one. Okay.
You're going to talk about Jackie?
I'm going to talk about my weight.
Oh, all right. I don't know if you saw this or not. Do you know who Alan Turing is? Alan Turing.
I don't think so.
He was a famous mathematician involved in computers and all that kind of stuff. They almost threw his papers out. They were up in the attic for a long time at some house. They were going to throw them out, and somebody goes, before we shred these, let's look at if these have any value or not. Mm-hmm. They ended up going for almost $600,000 at auction.
Whoa.
Yeah, over $500,000 they went for at auction. So I guess they had some value. After all.
For sure.
Yep, code breaker. Yep. And welcome in, Carl. Mr. Magazine is having something returned to him as it's going to a suspended country. He sent it out through stamps, got a notification. It's returned as going to a suspended country. Doesn't tell him what country it is, doesn't tell him the name of the person, doesn't tell him anything. Just, you're going to get a package back.
Okay.
Crazy idea. Tell him the person's name so he can be proactive and reach out to them and say,
right.
Hey, just letting you know, because people can get upset, which you can definitely understand.
Yeah. So they said, remember that one, the guy that bought $600 was 3 Asian cards.
Yeah.
Out of the country. The one got to him separately. Yeah. We won that one. Some scam deal going on because he had 2 different accounts. Mm-hmm. Anyways, he's saying that he's returning them and
But
they never got to me.
Yeah.
But really, they never got to him. So my niece is trying to explain that to eBay, and they said, well, they've been putting it off as long as they can. Like they're like, you're going to have to refund him now. And then it was only insured for 100, even though it was 3 cards. It should have been 3. If it was a separate package, it would have been 300. It's only 100, so I'm going to lose $500. Anyways, eBay saying like, oh, you should refund him now. Then, well, I'm not going to refund him because what if I don't have to refund him? Because there's been times where eBay, someone else may look into it and say, hey, this guy didn't do anything wrong. Just like the Gretzky card, we'll cover him.
Right.
So I'm going to let it ride and see if someone else at eBay says, hey, you don't have to pay for it, and let them refund them and take it out of my account or don't take it. But why? There's no point of me doing it.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah. Yep. I do remember reading about that. Yep. Alan Turing was, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So I got a notification from Amazon Canada, which I sold on a long time ago. I sold comics on there a long time ago, that my account, it's not been suspended, but it's been put on hiatus. I have to update my credit card because it's expired.
Have you sold anything on there? Because I feel like I'm still on there, but I haven't sold anything in years, like 10 years.
So I went into there. I updated my credit card. My credit card that was on there expired in 2017. So they're just now figuring out that my credit card's been expired for 8 years.
That's funny that Klarna on eBay that you could buy in advance and pay interest on items. So I bought a watch on eBay, and they'll only let you use a debit card, a personal debit card.
Okay.
So I don't really go to the ATM, or I have a business one that I just use at the bank so they can pull my account.
Right.
So I looked in my safe where I have all my old credit cards. It's from 2015. So I went to the bank. It's a brand new card. I never even, called it in. Anyways, I got one finally 10 years later, but it's just funny that I haven't used it in 10 years ever.
I did have Enfuego, another raid train over on Whatnot, did very well at it. Very, very happy with it. That was the show, which you don't remember, Mr. Magazine, that I had the 11:30 p.m. show. I made it through the show. I took a little bit of a nap from about 6:30 to 10:30, and then I stayed up all day.
Wow.
I was dragging. I was completely dragging that day, but I made it. To those of you that saw the video with Mysterious Benefactor, he did just send me a picture today. I did give him a gift. I gave him, you probably don't watch the channel because you can't find the videos or the channel. True. I did give him cufflinks because he wears cufflinks.
Oh, okay.
1972 Richard Nixon inauguration cufflinks.
Ooh, that's cool. That's very
He
cool.
actually wore them today and sent me a picture of him wearing them.
He loves that stuff.
He did. He absolutely loved that present. Did you see, you know who David Lynch is, correct?
It does sound familiar, but once you tell me, I'm going to remember with my dementia.
I think Twin Peaks and all that.
Oh, yeah. Preppy looking dude.
Yeah.
Big forehead. Okay.
His director's chair went for $70,000.
Wow. Holy cow.
And pretty much everything at David Lynch's went for crazy money at the sale. Yeah, everything went very, very high at the sale.
Jeez,
David Lynch stuff.
That's amazing. But yeah, what was it? Walton stuff was garbage compared to that.
Yeah. Or
right?
Or that Lincoln. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. We did see Mr. Magazine over at the graduation party. It was a nice event, and congratulations to your son, and wish him well.
Thank you.
As well. And I did post that picture from the photo booth.
Okay.
With Mysterious Benefactor, Mrs. Papergoy, and I. So do check that out as well if you haven't already. It's over in the posts area. I am in Amazon jail, which is why my sales are so bad. Somewhere on the dashboard, I found that 14.3% of my ratings in the past month are either a 1 or a 2. I had 1-2 rating because you get so few ratings.
It kills you.
It absolutely kills me.
I don't think they put a lot of stock in it.
No, that's why I don't have anything in the buy box.
Yeah. Oh,
I have 0 things in the buy box. And because so few positives come in, all I can do is wait it out.
Because you were doing good with the buy box for a while, right?
Yeah, it was up to 14% at one point. I'm at 0 right now.
Wow.
I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Definitely.
Roger.
And thank you for being a member. I definitely can do that. Just send me a message to remind me, Jeff, if you could. But yeah, so I just have to wait it out. I'm going to have really bad sales until that drops off into their thing because unless obviously, 10 people buy things and leave positives, which isn't going to happen.
Right.
On that over there. All right, time for the main topic, Mr. Magazine. We are halfway through 2025 and reselling ... Take it away, Mr. Magazine.
It is going fast. So it took me a while. It's never too late to become more efficient or to try and boost your sales. Not that I did it late this year. We made this decision, I think, May 15th, because I think I went away in April. A lot of stuff going on, but I always wanted to use a repricer. And I got this one employee he's handling all that stuff and he knows all about it. So I kind of let him roll with it. I wanted to use the new adult site and branch out there because we've had so many big collections now that we're listing 3, 4, 5 of each item on Amazon and Shopify site. So I'm like, I don't want to use the new adult site, but I think it'll help us boost more sales, branching out to another platform. And then let's see, we tried offers on Shopify. That didn't go so well. But with the Amazon being up at least 30 to 33%, and the new site, it's more than outweighing the money we're not making on Whatnot, because Whatnot's down probably 50% at this point.
Wow.
But my point is, it's never too late. I'm glad we did it. It's taking me more time to prep more things, but Amazon's doing well. We are offering free shipping on 350,000 listings on Amazon with a repricer. So not that we're losing money there, but we're competing with someone, say they have something for $10 and $4 shipping. Ours will be $13.99 free shipping. So, and I think we also get that boost ahead of them because we have the free shipping. So as of right now, it's been a little slow this week, but overall it's at least 30% in daily sales we're doing. So I wish I did it sooner, but it's never too late. But it gives me some hope moving through the rest of the year, moving through Christmas season with Amazon and building up this other site, this other adult site. My guy looked at it. They have 40,000 listings, and just in 5 weeks, we have 4,000. So I think we're going to try and do what we did on eBay, which made us successful on eBay with their adult site before they got rid of it. Is we were basically own the site to a certain extent, where half of the listings customers see on there were Mr. Magazine, and that's going to happen on this site too. We're trying to do some process of elimination, see what's selling well for us, and go with that type of stuff because his pricing tier is a little more pricier than eBay. It's like 15 cents a month, and he'll give you no discount on it. So if we have, say, 10,000 listings, we're going to be paying $1,500 a month or whatever that is. So, but I think it's we have a graph. He's got a graph of each month, my guy, as far as our sales and the cost. Next month's sales and the cost to see if we're growing enough to compensate the extra listings. Right now, surprise, surprise, magazines are our number one seller, but we're also selling 8mm, all kinds of slicks, oddball stuff, decks of cards. So we're putting stuff on that site that we don't normally sell on our own site. But
right.
I think I'll be able to pay my IRS. I'll be able to pay my son's college, hopefully, and maybe shoot for a new car next year, a nice watch if things go as planned. But I'm not going to reward myself until next year.
Nice. Yeah, I'm overall I'm happy with 2025 thus far. The only problem that I'm seeing is, and I know this is going to be stunning to everybody out there, I'm buying more than I should. What can you do? The deals are out there.
Yep.
We're also in the middle of deal time as well, the flea markets and all that stuff. I think it's supposed to be raining this weekend, so I probably will not go to the flea market. So, I forgot to say Friday, I get a call. I'm meeting the guy Friday. I've dealt with him before. He found 30 recipe booklets. I'm like, but they're all like 1903, 1910. I'm like, cool. Yeah, that stuff sells. So I'll come by him. He's 5 minutes away, so I'll drop by and pick that stuff up. So
nice.
Buying too much, but thanks to Whatnot, other than playbills, moving a lot of stuff as well. So that definitely helps also. And I definitely am changing the way I'm doing things. More and more things are just going to Whatnot immediately. I'm not looking anything up. I'm not doing it. Just it's coming and it's going there. These mystery books, they're just if it's a book and it's English language, it's going on to Whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't care at this point. I'm not putting the foreign language stuff on the magazines, that stuff, just because I don't think there's going to be a market for a Japanese Ellery Queen book. I might be wrong on that, but I was like, I'm not going to put that on there. But just any of the mystery books. And I think I did pretty well at the mystery. I did $68, I think, but it was the first mystery book auction that I had. And it was also on a Saturday where I've never had auctions before.
Are there any that look like, this might be good on Amazon or something? You throw it on Amazon?
Not really. No, not at this point. Because the guy's got, I always say 2,000. I think I'm definitely undercounting 4,000, 5,000 books.
Wow.
I just got to get them in and get them up in the auction and get them out the door.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I'm into them right. Get them out the door. Who cares? And actually, one of the subscribers went by my auction today and said, that playbill you just put up that nobody bought, the exact same playbill sold for $49.50 on eBay. I go, then buy it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I said, I'll bring it up for you if you want. I said, that's
Yeah.
good to know. I'll bring it up for you if I want. You know,
Yeah.
if you want. I said, if it doesn't sell, that's where it's going tomorrow for
Right.
$49.50. I said, but I got too much stuff. I said, I'd rather have $3 and send it to you and you make the money.
Right.
What do I care? But he said, no, he goes, I've got death piles as well. I said, okay, no problem at all. Thank you for letting me know. So now that one I'll pull out when I list on eBay,
Right.
and I'll list it at a higher price point because he took the time to tell me that as well. But the other people in the room didn't want to buy it either. So playbills are a tough buy. So you will be seeing that coming up sometime soon in a Bolo video. It'll be like, this is the one that a subscriber told me was good. And nobody wanted it,
Jeez.
even though you know it was $49 playbill.
Yeah, crazy.
But yeah, so I'm overall happy with 2025. Sales are up. The only thing that I didn't meet my goal in is fewer buys. But what are you going to do? You gotta buy the stuff when it's there. And
It's not a bad thing. Yeah.
no, not really. And again, I'm moving enough of the mystery stuff fast enough. What I am doing, Mr. Magazine, because I know you were wondering, I'm running the mystery stuff through. And then after it goes through, if it looks interesting, I will check Amazon for it. But then what I'm doing is, like, say 6 Ellery Queen books don't sell.
Yeah.
I'm putting a lot of 6 Ellery Queen books up on eBay. If 12 different hardcover mystery books don't sell, I'm putting a lot of 12 hardcover mystery books over on eBay.
Yeah.
Run them through. They didn't sell and whatnot. Then I'll lot them up. However, I think is the best way to lot them up and move them out over on eBay that way. And I'm sure they'll sell.
Sure.
People will buy those to read as well. So that's kind of what we're doing to try to get the stuff in the house and out of the house, because
Nice.
you got to do that at some point.
Yeah.
All right. Time for the rambling story of the day.
I wasn't going to have one, but then everyone's talking about their weight, so it got me on my issue here. So I put a few pounds on over the last, since Thanksgiving or whatever.
Wait, are you the fat guy now on the show again? I'm 180.
Yeah, I am more than 180. Yes. I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My problem is I'm not going to say I got addicted to fasting, but I was doing intermittent fasting. That's how I lost my weight. But then I started reading up on actual fasting. My son and I did it a long time ago for 3 days, and I started getting in the swing of things like once a week on a Monday because of, partying, there's parties, we eat, we drink, whatever. So I kind of let loose a little bit, and I'm like, I'm going to fast for 1 day. And then you read up, and it's good to do it for 2 or 3 days. But I started doing it like every week, and I think that's why I got my hemoglobin low. So anyways, when I went in for a month ago I must have done a blood test and a weigh-in for my surgery or something, a physical, and I weighed like 190. I think, which was up from, about 10 pounds, but, I've been lifting and stuff and trying to maintain. So now I had to go in again Monday for my pre-op for surgery. So they weighed me in and I was like 210.
Oh,
so they're like, that can't be right. But what happened was when I went in at the 190, I was fasting the day before and I went in fast. And then this time we had the party Thursday.
right.
We went out eating and drinking Friday. 2 graduation parties Saturday. Sunday we usually eat out and stuff, and then Monday. So I'm going on like no exercise on the weekend, no fasting, and everything in my system. So they're like, that can't be right. I go, well, I generally fast, but now I don't want to fast too much now because if my my count's down, I gotta eat better and stuff instead of like just going wild on the weekend.
Right.
So it's just weird how I could gain 20 pounds in a handful of. Well, it was a month, but.
Right.
They weren't too concerned about it because obviously they haven't said anything about anything being wrong for the surgery.
Right.
So, but it's just weird how my body is now. But I got to get back into the swing of things where intermittent fast, eat the right foods, and don't go crazy on the weekend. So
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Now I got to lose. Geez, I got to lose a lot of weight now for you. Well, with the colonoscopy, I'll probably lose 10 pounds, right?
Oh, easy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Easy.
So yeah, I'll catch you.
You'd be finding stuff you haven't eaten in weeks.
3 days in the making. Or 3 years in the making.
There you go. All right, everybody. Do check my Whatnot auctions out. I've got a ton of them coming up. No playbills for a while. Tomorrow, 4 p.m., I've got books. So Mr. Magazine will probably call me at 4:05. Friday, I got EPH talks, 6:30 p.m. Saturday, I have the mystery books at 5 p.m., I believe. And Sunday at 2 p.m., I'm part of Postcard Alley. So if you like postcards, definitely do stop by for that as well.
Okay.
And then Tuesday, I've got a 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock auctions. And Wednesday, I have a 4 o'clock. And that'll get us through till next show.
Cool.
How about you, Mr. Magazine?
We're still doing the records. My niece has been sick, so but we do doing comics every Thursday. You know, it's funny about comics. I wish I had a never-ending supply to buy. But anyways, we do well every Thursday because I have a JD do them and my niece does them, and then we do records the rest of the week on the weekends. But with them, everything being down, you know, I think it's that time of year, or some people are overspent. But you know, we're still doing our regular routine, 3 to 5, and then weekends 12 hours, 6 on Sunday, 6 on Saturday. So.
And one last hard sell for you over here. You see a lot of people here are members. Give it a try. That would be my suggestion to you.
And there's more incentive to do it now because I have been contributing a little more to these. So it's, you know, more to look at.
That's true. The eye candy is behind the paywall as well. We just shot a video today that is back there. I've got some other ideas for other things that I'm going to be putting back there as well. So if you've never taking the chance on it, I would suggest doing so. A lot of people really do like it, finds a lot of value back there. So
you probably sell like one item to cover it, right? Pretty much every month, one item.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep. And
not playbills though. You wouldn't be able to afford it if you just sell playbills.
No, if you sell playbills and whatnot, do not join. Do not join. I'm telling you right now. All right, if you hit the like button, we'd definitely appreciate it, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.